Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I will be covering my thoughts on the 29th installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the fourth Thor movie, Thor: Love and Thunder. Before we get into the review, please consider subscribing if you want to see more movie related content. I plan on making more reviews and rankings, so stay tuned. Let's get into the video. I'll start by proclaiming that I didn't enjoy this movie, and I thought it was poor, which is similar to my opinion of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Thor: Love and Thunder was directed by Taika Waititi, a director whom I admire a lot, with his film What We Do in the Shadows being one of my favourite comedies ever. He directed the previous Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok, which is my favourite movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I had high expectations for this film. As always, I'll cover the pros of this movie first. There is some great cinematography, and some of the scenes look visually stunning, such as the establishing shots of Omnipotence City. The use of colour makes this film look beautiful and matches the style of the previous Thor film quite well. As well as being especially colourful, there is one sequence of scenes where the characters are in the Shadow Realm, a setting wherein there is no colour and everything is monochrome. As a fan of film noir, I loved this part of the movie and thought it created a very gritty and dark atmosphere. This of course matches the theme of the villain very well. Aside from the visuals of the movie, the only other good point is how good Christian Bale is as Gore. He carries the film and steals every scene he is in, which unfortunately isn't many, and I think that the character is so underused. They managed to get Christian Bale, one of the greatest actors working today, to play an emotionally charged villain in one of the largest movie franchises in the world, and he was hardly present. Despite being cast, he was an unlikely option considering he had previously stated that he wouldn't be appearing in any comic book movies after Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy. His kids, however, begged him to take the role, which I'm glad about, because one of my favourite actors is playing one of my now favourite MCU villains. He is the only character, which I thought was great, with other characters such as Thor, Jane and Valkyrie being mediocre at best. Natalie Portman returns to the Thor franchise after not being included in the previous movie. I think that her inclusion in this movie is unnecessary and would much rather have seen Thor team up with somebody like Sif or even Valkyrie rather than her. I think that she is basically a female clone of Thor, which I believe to be boring. She's got no original or interesting traits which make her a good character. Her inclusion in this movie means that there is now a female counterpart to all of the original male Avengers, excluding Iron Man. Captain America's female counterpart is Captain Carter, who made an appearance in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness as a member of the Illuminati. Hulk's counterpart is She-Hulk, who has her own series coming to Disney Plus soon. Hawkeye's counterpart is Kate Bishop, who is the co-protagonist of the Disney Plus show Hawkeye. And although not being an original member of the Avengers, Ant-Man even has a female counterpart, that of course being the Wasp. I'm totally not against female comic book characters. I think that there are some super cool ones, such as Black Widow, Yelena, Jessica Jones, Wanda Maximoff and Echo. I just think that recycling old characters in a female form is boring, and although it's comic accurate, I don't think it's a good fit for the big screen. As well as Jane, Thor is also nowhere near as good of a character as he used to be. He was one of the coolest and one of my favourite MCU characters while he was in Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. He is way more comedic than he used to be, which I think is a detriment to the character. One of the main negative points to this movie is the overuse of comedy, and this completely ruins Thor as a character, to the point where this whole movie is basically just a parody. He used to have a fair bit of emotional baggage to make the character interesting and relatable, however this is lost now, and he is more of a court jester than a superhero with stability and integrity. In a film where comedy is overused, there are some subject matters which contrast this immensely. These consist of themes such as mass genocide, child abduction and cancer. I think that the comedy surrounding these themes is greatly misused, however it wouldn't be so bad if the jokes made were actually funny. I think that there was only one joke which actually landed with me and made me smile in the whole 2-hour runtime of this movie. The title of this movie is Love and Thunder, however this is meaningless until the last scene of the film, wherein the future of the Thor franchise is revealed. Love and Thunder, therefore, would be a more suitable name for the next movie than it is for this film. There's also some questionable CGI in this movie, and it's so obvious and completely laughable. However, I'm aware that this is a minor percentage of the CGI overall, therefore it would be unfair to claim that this movie doesn't have good visual effects. To conclude, I basically think the same of this movie as I do of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Overall, it is a bad movie. However, there are some aspects which make it worth watching. If you're not already an MCU follower, I don't think that it would be a suitable movie to jump into. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and consider subscribing to see more movie related content. That's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.